We got to get a freaking theme song. Let's go. Lakers trade for Dorian Finney-Smith. Welcome in, everybody. We're going to take a little bit of time to get everybody in here. Lakers. And then let me also make sure we got all our streaming stuff set up. Let's go, folks. Welcome in. Let me make sure we are all good to go. Lakers. This is huge. This is huge. So make sure. Yeah, we are officially back. We are back, folks. Be a friend, tell a friend. Let's get some people in here. Let's try to get 100 likes on this on this stream. Gonna be pulling people in from different sites. Apologies for not going immediately live. Had to make a pit stop. Had to wake myself up a little bit more. Let's go. So on this show, we're gonna obviously be giving my full reactions to the Dorian Finney-Smith trade. Talk about what this means for the Lakers from a cap space perspective, what they can do next. Talk about Dorian Finney-Smith and Shake Milton, the player. We're not talking about Shake Milton, the player, a lot. So I want to break that down a little bit. And then obviously, where do we go from here? I'm Sean Davis, formerly of another Lakers site. If you guys are familiar with my stuff, make sure you guys do me a big favor. This is the biggest time of the year for Lakers content. Hit that like button and subscribe on the YouTube channel right now. Be a friend, tell a friend. Let's get as many people in here as possible. We want to celebrate. We want to have a party. Super chats are the number one guaranteed way to get your question answered on the stream, and it's a great way to help out the show. But enough of that. Enough of the BS. Enough of the shenanigans or whatever. Lakers, Persham Charania. Let me pull out my Twitter. Lakers, Persham Charania. Trade D'Angelo Russell and Maxwell Lewis plus 3 first-round picks. Good grief. 3 second-round picks. They trade that to the Brooklyn Nets for Dorian Finney-Smith and Shake Milton. Sources told ESPN as Persham Charania. What a major move. So there's a lot of different directions we could go with this. I'm going to start from a Lakers, like with the Lakers sending out. I'm going to start with that. Chat's having a good laugh at me talking about 3 first-round picks. From the Lakers side of things, what they gave up, obviously they gave up D'Angelo Russell. They gave up Maxwell Lewis, which is kind of an L on my part, the Maxwell Lewis piece, because I was a big Maxwell Lewis guy. I loved Maxwell Lewis coming out of Pepperdine, heading into the 2023 draft class. Also, guys, hit that like button. Spam. Let's get a like. Let's get a like spam or whatever. I remember being ultra high on Maxwell Lewis. Not in terms of what he could pan out to be. Like, I didn't think he could be an all-star or something, but I thought he had a pretty decent skill set. I thought he had the athleticism. I thought he had the athletic traits. I thought I bought some of the self-creation stuff. And I thought really, I kind of just bought into the physical traits with him and trusted like the shooting to like stay comparable when he got to the league. And if anything, like the athletic traits, it just never really flashed in the summer league or really in the G League. The shot became an even bigger problem than I expected to be, because one, it's such a like weird release point and it's obnoxiously slow. If that even makes sense. So that's a L on my part. Them trading D'Angelo Russell even more kind of reasserts their belief in Austin Reeves, because so Anthony Irwin, Lakers Daily. I think Anthony does Lakers Daily stuff. Anthony, if you're watching this, I like completely botched that. I apologize. That got to get him on the show, but obviously you guys know him. Lakers Lounge. He made a pretty good point, and it's funny. I think the timing is something to consider here. They'd make this trade the night after Austin Reeves has his best game of the season, probably, and that's coming off of the night where Austin Reeves has one of his 3 best performances on Christmas Day. Them making this trade now reasserts themselves. Reasserts their belief in Austin Reeves, that Austin Reeves is the lead ball handler. JJ Redick has talked about this a little bit too, in terms of how, Austin's kind of the lead ball handler. And honestly, they talked about this all summer long. And it's been one of the things that I've even talked about, where it's kind of like, look, if they view Austin as their lead ball handler, then that makes D'Angelo Russell super, super, I don't want to say like unimportant, but that's kind of where my mind immediately goes, because now you're not tapping into where D'Lo's at his best at, right? So in a sense, you're making D'Lo super unimportant. And then them doing this deal after Austin has a 16 assist game where he was incredible, after Austin Reeves has a triple-double. By the way, in 2 games where there's no Anthony Davis in the Christmas Day game and there's no LeBron James game against the Kings. So I do think that's interesting. Swish City, what's up, man? What's up, Peter? So that's kind of where I'm at from a Lakers perspective. The timing is interesting, and it really just, in my opinion, reasserts their belief in Austin Reeves. D'Lo been bad. I'm not defending D'Lo, by the way. I'm not defending D'Lo whatsoever. That is not what I'm attempting to do. All I am saying is that them doing this now just kind of, reasserts their belief in Austin, more importantly. This is very much real news. This is not clickbait. As you guys can see right there, Austin Reeves. I'm sorry, not Austin Reeves. Shams Charania, the Lakers have agreed on a trade, sending D'Angelo Russell, Max Lewis, and 3 second-round picks to the Brooklyn Nets for Dorian Finney-Smith and Shake Milton. And it's so funny that I had just said last night on Twitter or X, whatever the hell. I just said last night, like, look, man, it's time to get serious about this roster. And I don't think that they are like top notch in the West, which I think is what some of the people are saying in the chat right now. I still think they're a move away, but it's kind of been the point the whole time, as in, like, let's get serious and give this team a chance to prove that they can be on that top level. You have Anthony Davis and LeBron James, which, excuse my bias for a second, how many duos do you want in a 16-win scenario? Like, you are building, you get to pick any combination of a duo in the entire league, right? So Shea Chet, Bron AD, Jamal Jokic, et cetera, et cetera. And you're building the team around them from scratch. How many duos in a 16-win scenario would you rather have other than LeBron James and Anthony Davis, right? So, again, excuse my bias for a second. So that's why I'm like, dog, let's get serious for a second and give them a chance. And they make a move here. I will say this. Who's the Reeves hater? I'm confused. Peter, who's the Reeves hater? I'm lost. I think the outside of not, let me backtrack. I think the biggest part of this deal, not only do you get a guy in Dorian Finney-Smith, we're going to break down like some of his data and things like that. It's so important that they did not trade a first-round pick. That is monumental that the Lakers did not trade a first-round pick. That is incredible. Now here's something else. Here's something else I want to touch on, because my guy Jackson said it. We're going to get to you guys' comments and questions again. Super chats, number one easiest way to get your question answered live on the air. Not like the other one that, kind of skips some super chats. We will get to every single super chat. And it's a great way to help out the channel. Does DFS make Rui available? 2 things. One, I don't think Rui is going to be traded based off of everything we've heard. This might sound weird. I'm starting to believe what like the team is saying now. Like, if you go back to the summer, D'Lo was a guy that they never really talked about. D'Lo gets traded. Austin's the guy that were like, hey, look, he's their primary ball handler, this, and that. They reassert their confidence in Austin. I'm starting to believe some of the stuff that this front office and like coaching staff is saying. So with that being said, they've consistently talked about Rui being one of their building block guys. So not only do I think that he's not available, I also think he's going to continue to start. I don't think this does anything for Rui, to be honest. I think Rui is very much still a starter. I view this as again, for like using the Thunder as the grand comparison here. The Thunder, what makes the Thunder so tough is the Thunder have arguably the most lineup flexibility when they're fully healthy out of any team in the league. It's like them, Memphis is a sneaky one, and maybe healthy Boston or like Cleveland. In terms of we can do this, we can go all the wings, we can go too big, we can go this, we go that. OKC, probably Cleveland, and like Boston. I mean, Memphis too. Like those are the 4 teams I think of immediately, like elite lineup versatility, right? DFS just adds to that for the Lakers. That doesn't necessarily mean that Rui's gone. I think JJ loves Rui Hachimura, like adores him. And I'm not saying that in a good or a bad sense here. He adores Rui Hachimura, right? DFS is a depth piece, man. He's a legitimate wing stopper that you face the Kawhis, you face the Kevin Durants, you face the et cetera, et cetera. I don't even think Vando's gone. And I would actually be a little disappointed if Vando's gone because, you know, you can do some really, really cool stuff with the trio of wings now. Look, like think about your wing depth. Does ESPN have the depth chart updated? Just think about some of the stuff you can do once you get this team like back healthy. Do they have it updated? Okay, they do. So from a wings perspective, let me share my screen once again. From a wing perspective, Rui, Braun, DFS, Cam Reddish, Jared Vanderbilt's not even on the screen. Okay, and then your Max is a real 2. I don't expect once this team gets healthy that we ever really see Max play a lot of 3. I'd be shocked. I think the Lakers understand, and this is actually a pretty big deal for Max too. Max, you are a 2. You are not a 3. You're a 2. Go play the 2. Go guard. Like, oh my goodness, man. You can roll out lineups with AR, Max, Vando, Braun AD, DFS, Braun AD. Like, you just got way more versatile defensively. And that's such a big deal, man. That is awesome. Now, what does this mean next for the trade front? Does this mean we're out of the Cam Johnson sweepstakes? Not necessarily. I wouldn't bank on it, especially now that they didn't like combine them into the same deal. Because to me, logically, that would just make the most sense to like combine Cam and DFS into the same deal. My logic, this is not sourced or anything. I haven't asked. My logic here is the Lakers try to do both. Brooklyn's asking price for Cam Johnson was a little too steep, so they backed out of Cam Johnson and just took DFS. That is complete speculation, but that's what I'm like kind of guesstimating here. Cam Johnson costs too much. The Lakers wanted to like still walk away with DFS. So they say, hey, look, let's just get DFS done. And potentially in the long haul, we can revisit Cam Johnson. That's why I think the most logical thing here is. I do still think Cam Johnson gets moved. I don't know where. OKC is very terrifying, though. That is very terrifying. Shout out my guy, Tim Tucker. What does this all mean for Dalton? We're looking at the depth chart here. I think this also means Dalton's probably just a backup too. So we're looking rotation wise here. Austin, Gabe as your ones, because I think they're viewing Austin as a 1 at least for the short term, especially the way Austin's playing. I think that's understandable. Austin, Gabe is your 1s. Max, Dalton is your 2s in air quotes. Rui, Cam is your 3s. Braun, DFS is your 4s. And then AD and your bigs, right? And then when Vando gets back, Christian Wood gets back, then you kind of reallocate some stuff. Then DFS is probably more of a 3. Vando is your backup 4, et cetera, et cetera. But for the time being, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Does Rui still start? Yeah. Kai just touched on that. I think Rui still starts. Like, I'd be surprised. I'd be really, really surprised if Rui is not the starter. If Rui is not the starter, I'd be genuinely surprised by that. I'd also, I'm not gonna lie, I'd be pretty upset if they trade Vando. The more and more I think about it, I do not want them to trade Vando. I do not want them to trade Jared Vanderbilt, man. I mean, obviously, there's a deal out there that just makes too much sense. Then sure, go right ahead. But I don't know, man. I'd be decently upset. I'd be decently upset if they trade Jared Vanderbilt. Guys, you guys are killing it. We're already almost at our like goal at 100 likes on the YouTube channel. Let's see if we get one more like spike. Let's get some more people in here. Got another super chat. Shout out my guy Joshua. Much appreciated. Appreciate you helping out the channel, supporting me directly, actually. So much appreciated. Let's get a like spike, chat. Let's see if we can get 1,000 live viewers in here. I think we could do it. Hit that daggone like on the video. Much appreciated. We will. When's the Lakers' next game? Like, my week has kind of just been thrown all the way off. I know it's Cleveland. It's Tuesday, isn't it? Okay, so chat, follow me here. No promises, but I've gotten a lot of comments about doing a breakdown on DFS. That's in the realm of possibility. If it does happen, you're likely looking at like Monday night, Tuesday. So that's probably what we're looking at here. Let's see. DFS will play. Let's go. How will they use Shake? That's a good point. I didn't even really talk about Shake. Deal's getting bought out. Huh? No way. No way. Did like Shams just say that? Hold on, let me see. Hold on, chat. My bad. I'm trying to find that right quick. Huh. All right. All right. Never mind. All right. Back to your originally scheduled programming here. Let's talk about DFS. Let's talk about DFS officially. We kind of talked about this from a Lakers perspective. We'll get to some more trade talks here in a second. Is this not a bad move for the Lakers? No. Not at all. I don't think this is a bad move. Definitely don't think this is a bad move. All right, let's look at DFS. Let's look at DFS. Trying to pull up some data here on him. Last season, I know this off the top of the head. Last season, DFS had a down year in terms of his efficiency. He had a down year because a lot of DFS's stock lends it to like his ability to hit shots. So last season, Dorian Finney-Smith made on catch and shoot threes, he shot 35% on catch and shoot threes. On spot up threes, he shot 33%. However, on pick and pop threes, he shot 37.5%. Transition threes, he shot 38.5%. So without looking at this year's data on Dorian Finney-Smith, those two numbers, the pick and pop threes and the transition threes, are pretty important for this Lakers team, considering that they want to run. The Lakers, if my memory serves me correctly, they shoot some of the highest percentages of transition threes of any team in the league. As a matter of fact, let me fact check that. Really, really quickly. But my memory serves me correctly. The Lakers shoot a really freaking high percentage of threes at transition. So hold on, give me 1 sec. 3-point attempts. All right, never mind. I completely made that up. Ignore me. But wait, maybe I'm like so confused now. Hold on, I messed myself up. Yeah, okay, yeah, I completely made that up. But the Lakers are trying to go, and like Austin, for example, on the hit-ahead passes, that is still something that the Lakers do want to do, especially with Bron, Austin, AD, even on like the rebounds, just the hit-ahead passes and early offense. That is a staple for this Lakers team. And Dorian Finney-Smith last season being a really, really good transition three-point shooter is something that's important for this Lakers squad. Now, if we turn the page to this season, wow. Okay, so this season, Dorian Finney-Smith has rebounded phenomenally. Last season, keep this in mind, Chad. Last season, Dorian Finney-Smith shot 35% on catch-and-shoot threes, 37% on open catch-and-shoot threes. This season, Dorian Finney-Smith is shooting 43.4% on catch-and-shoot threes, 45% on contested catch-and-shoot threes, and 42.3% on uncontested threes. This is all per Synergy. He's shooting 42% on spot up. So like true, like somebody drives a kick to him, 42% on those threes. He's shooting 54% in transition from three, and he's shooting 35.7% on pick and pop threes this season. That's huge. That's huge. And then you add in the stuff that he does for them defensively, right? So he's always been, I thought last year, again, was probably his worst year defensively in a little while. But one of the things I've always said is it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to evaluate players that were really good defenders. They get traded to a bad team. And like, what does that mean for them? Right? Because DFS, obviously, in Dallas, really, really good defender, gets traded to Brooklyn, kind of gets out of shape. And defensively, his impact just kind of fell off. But yeah, if we're looking at some of his B-ball index data, he's a really versatile defender for this Lakers team. Can actually help them out a lot on the back end. Grades out really, really well in B-ball indexes, help defense categories, good post-up defender. And then obviously we talk about his on-ball defense. Really good perimeter isolation defender. The Lakers will now have two players with at least an A grade in perimeter isolation defense as DFS and Max Christie. Good screen navigator. And I do think we can look at some of his film and a film breakdown, because now you have somebody for that hypothetical Clippers matchup, right? I don't know why I always come back to the Clippers, but like, who's your Kawhi Leonard guy? I think it's pretty easily Dorian Finney-Smith for the bulk of those games, or it's Jared Vanderbilt. Now you just have multiple guys that can do that. So Dorian Finney-Smith as a wing stopper that's shooting the piss out of the ball this season. You get him for 3 second-round picks. And then the other thing, I'm going to pull up Spot Track here for a sec. The other thing that is, again, talked about a ton, but I made sure I touched on this on Twitter. The Lakers now get even more room under that second apron. They're now even further under that second apron right now, right? So if we take a look at Spot Track here, pull up Spot Track. This is Lakers cap sheet right now. Lakers cap sheet. DFS is also extension eligible. He has a player option this summer. So he's extension eligible February 10th per Spot Track. So in terms of tradable contracts, they still can like get and improve this roster. It would probably be Gabe Vincent, honestly. You're looking at Gabe. If they were to make another trade, again, them trading D'Lo, I think immediately takes Austin out of the mix. It would actually be Gabe. You're looking at Vando. I think if this team was to make another trade, I think it would more likely be Gabe and Vando as opposed to Gabe and Rui. Just, again, thinking about how this team has talked about their players and me starting to believe this team a little bit more in that regard. I think it's Gabe and Vando. which would accumulate to about $21 million. You could throw it at Christian Wood if you need a little bit more salary. Shake Milton's only 28, mind you, and I didn't even really notice that. His contract next year is not fully guaranteed, and then so you have him for 2 more years, but they're non-guaranteed contracts. So that's actually a really, really good deal for Shake Milton as well. Now, Chad, what are we thinking here in terms of Lakers trades here, right? And this kind of blends into a super chat question here. Much appreciated. Opinion on the playmaking now if AR/Bron is missing. I think that's where they kind of lean all the way back into the AD playmaking hub thing. Because, I think this team is putting a lot of confidence and a lot of trust in Austin to just hold down the fort, playmaking wise. But if AR has to miss a couple of games, if Bron has to miss an extended stretch, that is something to be a little bit worried about. And I don't think so. Okay, they cleared off one of my 3 biggest needs for this team. If you go all the way back to some of the oldest videos I've done on this channel, or just my offseason talk, I said it's wing depth, it's athleticism in the backcourt, and it's backup big. Okay, cool. We solved one of those problems. But this team desperately still definitely still has an athleticism problem. Shake Milton's fine. If I pull up B-ball index again, see how he grades out for them. But I don't think Shake in a pinch can help you out a little bit. But I'm not putting all of my eggs in a Shake Milton basket, respectfully. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a little bit I don't even want to say lower. I like Shake Milton. I just think that if that's your your other option, I'm not fully on board. So if we're being completely honest here, if I'm the Lakers, I'm prioritizing getting more athletic in the backcourt. This might sound insane. I'm prioritizing getting more athletic in the backcourt over getting another backup big. And here's why. I think you have enough wings to where you'll be big enough playing next to AD. I don't know if that makes sense. And then I think getting Christian Wood back is still going to help, even though we don't freaking know when he'll ever be back. But if I'm looking at the playoffs and I'm looking at what's the thing that could potentially harm you the most come playoff time, right now, I think the answer is not having athleticism in the backcourt and teams just being able to pressure the hell out of Austin. And they're not being a legitimate release for Austin. Right? I think that's the more concerning thing for me than getting another backup big. Because I'm not going to lie, I think DFS in some ways, depending on the matchup, can operate as such. They desperately need athleticism in the backcourt. That is the thing to me that is more harmful for them come playoff time. Not saying that not saying that they don't need a backup big. Not at all saying that. But if I'm going to prioritize one, I'm not going to lie, it's going to be athleticism in the backcourt. Especially now that Austin is your primary ball handler. You don't have another option. That's kind of my point. You don't have another option whatsoever. Regardless of how we feel about the current backups for the Lakers, you at least have other options. You know what I'm saying? If Austin gets hurt or if teams pressure the hell out of Austin and get a little physical with them or whatever, you don't have that other option anymore because you traded D'Lo, right? Gabe, I'm not entrusting the offense with. Bron over an 82-game sample size, you're putting a lot of pressure on him. So, again, might sound insane. Just think about last year, the playoffs, AD got hurt. We need a big man. I'm not saying you don't need one. But I'm saying, okay, for the Lakers desperately, like, it will require AD to get hurt, is what I'm saying. Where there's like a gapping hole already there due to like lack of athleticism, where that hole gets opened up by an injury. Now you can make the argument, well, be proactive, and that's fair. But I'm just saying that to avoid running into that, you know. If AD gets hurt, yeah, I like this take. If AD gets hurt, season's over regardless. It doesn't matter who the backup is. I like that. Thank you. Kind of proving my point. Like that's a great way of putting it. That is a great way to put it. That honestly, I can't even put it even better. Can I directly compare DFS's other stats to D'Lo? Sorry if I missed. I just joined. Well, appreciate you just joining. Sure, we can compare the two. We can compare the two. Lonzo, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of cool on Lonzo unless he gets bought out, and even then, I don't even know if they could afford him. Not even sure if they could afford him. All right. We need Kessler. Sure. D'Angelo Russell this season, 12.4. Let me just go to EPM. All right, let's see. Let's see. D'Angelo Russell this season, 16 per 75 possessions, 16.7 points. He has a 25% assist percentage, which is right on par of where it was last season. He's actually having a worse season at the rim. And if we look at like per 75 possessions, he's taking less shot attempts at the rim compared to last season. Really, the thing with D'Lo this year is that the shot has regressed compared to last season. True shooting percentage gone down 53.5% true shooting percentage, which is like 4% below league average, which would be the worst true shooting percentage he's had since the 2018 season, which would be his first year in Brooklyn. In terms of, estimated plus minus 1.4, I could just share my screen and, not, just aimlessly talk. Estimated plus minus says this is also the worst year of his career since that 2018 season. Whereas if you look at Dorian Finney-Smith, kind of the opposite, having a career resurgence. This is his best year since that Dallas year that we all kind of hype up and talk about, which is the conference finals year, where his estimated plus minus was a 1.6. This is his best defensive year of his career and best offensive year of Dorian Finney-Smith's career. Career high in true shooting percentage, shooting the lights up from three, like we already said. He's having a great year. Dorian Finney-Smith is having a great year. He's essentially a three-point shooter that will play and, can get some cuts and stuff like that. Career high in points per 75 possessions. That's kind of what we're looking at. So if we're looking at just in terms of value so far this season, Dorian Finney-Smith, in terms of estimated plus minus and all that good stuff, Dorian Finney-Smith so far this season has had a better season than D'Angelo Russell. But I do want to say this, and again, it goes back to my conversation, and I do not want to sound like a D'Angelo Russell stan, quite the contrary. But I think a lot of why D'Lo's having the worst year of his career comes down to, quite frankly, the vision for him and the fact that he's not the on-ball guy like he was last season. I think that's truthfully what it comes down to. And it goes back to my whole take about how if this is how the Lakers envision Austin, it makes D'Lo a little bit less important, to be honest with you. So like I think D'Lo honestly could still end up, like if he does wind up getting bought out, you know, I could still see D'Lo like being a pretty decent player for a regular season team, where he can run the show a little bit, run pick and roll a ton. I could see D'Lo doing that. D'Lo has good qualities, but in a place like this where the Lakers have asked him to be a little bit more off ball than usual, and the shot isn't following like it has the years past, then you know. And this is I saw a tweet here. This is important. This is super, super important. And shout out my guy, Mike Garcia on Twitter, at Canyon Driver. I'm going to read this tweet, like verbatim here. I'm actually going to pull it up on screen here. My guy, Mike, says this. There's two critical upsides. DFS having a clear role and being a capable playoff player. Shake Milton is a taller guard, clearly knows his role as a shooter, makes simple passes while keeping turnovers down. In terms of adding playoff caliber players, LA really succeeded here. That's the most important thing, guys. That's the most important thing here. And again, I talked about, I posted this yesterday on Twitter. I talked about it earlier on the stream for folks just now joining in. Let's see, by the way, let's see if we can get like 1,000 people in here. We're up to 402 live viewers. See if we can get 1,000. Let's get another likes by guys. 200 likes is the new goal. I really appreciate you guys' support here on the channel. And if you're new, make sure you guys hit that daggone subscribe button so you never miss a new video. ST, before we continue, says, thanks for the stream. Best wishes from Germany. Stay safe. Stay safe to you as well. Also, happy holidays if I haven't said it as well. Hope you all had a great time with family and friends. But like I said earlier, you have to give LeBron and AD a shot, right? You have to give them a shot. And this really comes down to you gave them more playoff caliber players. You gave them guys that in a playoff setting, DFS is going to be a 30-minute per night guy, probably 20 to 30 minute per night guy, right? The way Max is playing right now, you get Vando back, like, check ball, dude. Check ball. And that's the goal. That's the goal. So I just want to shout out that tweet because I really, really like that tweet. And once again, shout out to my guy. Mike. Really good draft analyst as well for anybody that's into the draft stuff like I am. Let's see. Let's see here. Braun, I mean, oh my God, man. Like, this is like Austin, Max, DFS, Braun, AD. That's a good lineup. It's a pretty good lineup. Kessler ain't that good. Kessler's a really good defensive big, though. He's a really good defensive big, and he can finish around the rim. So to that point, I don't care how good he is. He can finish around the rim, good screen setter, really good defender. That's about all I care about, for being completely honest with you. Shout out to my guy Bucknell, Sports Analytics. Great follow on Twitter as well. So we're kind of like scrolling around Twitter, seeing if there's anything I'm missing. I will say this. If you could get Nick Richards, hell yeah. I'm all for that. So let's see. All right, let's pull this up. Some Dorian Finney-Smith data here. I actually want to, spotlight this. So once again, shout out to my guy Bucknell. Really, really, really good spot up player this season. 86th percentile. He, in terms of frequency, he loves playing out of spot up scenarios. 7.9% better better catch and shoot shooter compared to the league average. So really, really good catch and shoot shooter this season. Not really looking to drive. Not really looking to do much else. He is literally the definition of 3-and-D. He talks about here 83rd percentile and defensive EPM. And, this season, he's been a really, really good three-point shooter. Now, you're hoping that this is what he actually is, right? But because you know about the Lakers curse or whatever. But the hope is that he can maintain some level of that efficiency, and we can go from there. Let's see. Let's pull back up the live chat. The Just Cam experience. What's the starting lineup with DFS? I think the starting lineup is actually going to be the same, and I think DFS is coming off the bench still. That's what I would expect. Yeah, he may protect the rim, but what do they do when they take Walker out of the paint on pick and roll as screens? The Lakers are going to play drop, as they should, and they've been doing that a lot more. The Lakers of like a month ago, I would be shitting my pants, excuse my language, but I would be really, really nervous about that. But the Lakers of the past, 2 or 3 weeks or so, where they've been playing a lot more drop coverage, especially with their bigs, like AD, for an example. I'm not as concerned because you have good screen navigators, and Gabe Austin's a good screen navigator even. Gabe, Austin, Max, DFS, which is ultra important when playing drop, and Walker just gets to play in drop. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not that worried about that personally. So yeah, I think we're overlooking that. Now, my guy Jackson asked, Nick Richards for 2 seconds or Walker for 1 unprotected? I think the answer would probably be, I don't know actually, because if it's just 1 first, I'm more inclined to want to do Walker because I just think he's the better player, to be completely honest with you. I don't know. Chat, what do you guys think? Let's actually do a poll here. Let's do a poll. Richards for 2 seconds or Kessler for 1 first. All right. Just threw a poll up in the chat. We really appreciate if you guys go vote on that. Curious to see what you guys' thoughts would be. I'm kind of split. I'm not gonna lie. It's only 1 unprotected first. Although I'm not gonna lie, and I'm like completely spitballing here. I think if that was the real price for Walker Kessler, I think everybody in the league would have traded for him by now. And maybe I'm tripping. But I think they would have done that by now. So call that the tiebreaker or whatever. But I think New York would have hopped on that. New York does have any picks. You get my point though. I think there's a decent amount of teams that could really, really use a lot of contenders that could really, really use a backup big like Walker Kessler. To the point where if a first round pick was truly the price, they would have a lot of teams would have pulled the trigger. That's kind of where I'm at. Let's see. Where are we at? 42 votes right now. 71% of you guys say Walker Kessler. Let's get some more votes in there, guys. Let's get some more votes in here. Going back to the starting lineup point. I really think Brewery's going to still start. I'd actually be pretty surprised if Brewery's not starting. Dorian Finney-Smith since 2019-2020. So this is for the last 5 years. Is that how long it's been since the title? Yeah, 5 years. So since the Lakers championship season, in the regular season, he shot 37.5% from 3. In the playoffs, he shot 41.7% from three. DFS is a baller. He's a guy that knows his role. He's going to come in. And yeah, man, this lineup is this team is starting to make a little bit more sense. This team is starting to make a little bit more sense. Man. You get Vando back into the fold. I think the biggest thing about this team is once this team gets fully healthy, I think the roles make so much sense. Like it shouldn't be this juggling act. You know what I'm saying? Like all the roles like should kind of, flow in pretty like easily, in my opinion. Braun and Austin are your on-ball creators, right? Without a doubt. They're your on-ball offense. Anthony Davis is effing Anthony Davis. Nothing else to be said there. And he's the guy that's going to play through a lot, et cetera, et cetera. Max Christie, DFS are your pretty simply play defense, hit threes. Jared Vanderbilt, Cam Reddish, wreak havoc defensively. Don't be an offensive liability, right? They are your defensive playmakers. Okay? Gabe Vincent, a little bit of both, right? Play good defense, be a secondary guy offensively, right? Dalton, Knecht, Hachimura, primarily make plays offensively. Okay? This team's starting to make more and more sense. Where Shake Milton, I probably should share more love, give more love to Shake Milton. Make open shots. Be a secondary guy. I wouldn't be surprised if Shake Milton gets some clock early to see what they got. Yeah, man. Like this team is starting. Let's see. Hold on one sec. This team is starting to make more and more sense. And that's all I could really ask for, considering, again, back in the summer, my biggest freaking pet peeve with this team, man, was, look, continuity is fantastic until it's not anymore. And I thought personally we had enough of a sample size from this team to show, look, you are, when healthy, a 50-ish win regular season team that is a second-round exit because you don't have playoff-level players. And Max Christie, I think, has a skill set that is going to translate to the playoffs. D'Lo, which this team had so much stock in the regular season, and rightfully so. D'Angelo Russell is a pretty good regular season player, but he just can't play in a playoff setting. Dorian Finney-Smith is a playoff-level player, and getting this team more playoff-level players is so freaking important, man. So freaking important. Sean, I think moving Rui to the bench makes more sense without they using Rui as a spot shooter anyways. If Rui's the sixth man, allows him to go into his bag a little more. I'm not disagreeing with you. I just don't think that's going to happen. Based off of all the signals. And I think Rui has played well enough, especially recently, to where it's kind of hard to bench Rui right now, for being honest. It's kind of hard to bench Rui. Like, if we look at Rui Hachimura, we'll look at his EPM stuff too. And I'm not even like the Rui guy. I think Rui's perfectly fine. Braun is sneaky, averaging 9 assists. I did not peep Braun was averaging 9 assists per game. Last 10 games for Rui, 13.4 points, 5.5 rebounds, shooting 53, 49, 83. I don't know how you bench him right now. And then if you look at Rui's EPM, this is, 60.2% true shooting percentage, shooting 45% from three. 45% from three for Rui this season. This is his best offensive rebounding season in terms of offensive rebounding percentage since his rookie season. He's increased his offensive rebounding percentage by 2%, damn near. He went from 3.9 and 4% offensive rebounding percentage to 5.7 this season, which is big. That's a really noticeable like leap for a guy like Rui. Sean, stats are always the go-to. Sometimes you gotta say that use the eyes test. F his percentages, bro. I mean, yeah, guys, I think in a perfect world, if you're telling me you could roll out a starting five of AR, Max, Braun, Rui, not Rui, DFS, AD, I agree. I like that. I'm just saying I would be shocked if if the Lakers didn't go with Rui. And again, I'm not even the biggest Rui guy, but if we are being, objective here, Rui has taken noticeable steps defensively, specifically as a help defender and making rotations and things like that. He is definitely providing more effort than I think he ever has defensively. And again, if we are talking about what the Lakers are going to do, not what Sean Davis would do, what the Laker fan base is going to do, Rui is a cone on defense. I'm not saying on ball. We're talking about off ball, which is where this team is utilizing him defensively. What the Lakers are going to do, they're probably going to continue to start Rui. Like I said, I would be shocked if they didn't do that. What I would do the lineup that I think makes sense, which is Austin, Max, DFS, Braun, AD. That's what I would do. But I think Rui has played well enough to where they can easily justify that, and yeah, I think they could pretty easily justify still starting Rui. Hold on one second. This team desperately needs athleticism in the backcourt. Could DFS guard threes? How is that lateral quickness? He's a wing stopper. He is definitely a wing stopper. Most definitely is a wing stopper. Let's get another like spike chat. You guys have been awesome so far. We're kind of like teetering. We're like, let's see if we get to 500 live viewers. Still building up the channel. I'm hearing a bunch of slick shots of Sean's Pateki at Lakers Nation. LOL. What have I said that was a shot? That's a genuine question. I mean, if me promoting this channel was a shot at the other platform, then I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Underground. What did I say? What did I say? I don't know. All right, guys. Let's see. Come on, like spike. Let's see if you guys are killing it. Let's see if we get 300 likes on the stream. Much appreciated. Ticket TV says it's a bad trade. I would love to hear the argument for why it's a bad trade. Personally, I mean, like if the argument is you're losing a ball, an on ball player. I mean, okay, but I don't really care. I don't really care. Will we play or flip Shake? I think they'll play Shake. I think we'll play Shake. I definitely think we'll play Shake. Let's see. Oh, okay. So see, guys, I had no clue who Ticket TV was. Like, I literally had I heard of him. I always liked DFS from the days he played with Lukey. It's a real Swiss Army knife. Vando can go. I'm still attached to Vando, and the only reason why I say I'm still attached to Vando is because Vando still has something that nobody else on this team has, minus Cam Reddish. And that's the ability to like legitimately wreak havoc defensively and force turnovers. Like this team right now, currently constructed, have a bunch of can't do basketball talk and not know Ticket TV. Oh, okay. I mean, maybe I'm tripping. Hold on, let me see. Haven't really watched them. Anyway, this team has a lot of currently constructed. Like, if we're looking at DFS, we're looking at Gabe, we're looking at Max, even looking at Austin a little bit. You're looking at guys that are all solid defenders. Actually, you know what? I'll even say good defenders. Yeah, you have some pretty daggone good defenders on this team right now, right? I forgot Gabe's hurt. Damn, that sucks. Banda, but all those good defenders that they have, none of them can like consistently force turnovers. Bando's going to come in and be the guy that can legitimately force turnovers, play well in the passing lanes, use his length and size, can guard full court 94 feet. Like, they don't have that. Cam Reddish can, but Reddish isn't as good as Vando is, I think, in that category. And Vando's also a guy that is elite at denial. Vando is elite at denying the basketball, like legitimately. Like, what makes Vando? I always go back to that. Somebody asked me a question about can I explain drop again? Yeah, I can. Give me a sec. People love to talk about that Warrior series with Vando, right? Vando hounded Steph. I think it's quite the contrary, actually. I think Vando did a good job in game one, but then as soon as Golden State changed their offensive approach and went more ball screen stuff with Steph, then it kind of neutralized what Vando does great. But if you're facing a team like Golden State that wants to run their motion stuff, Vando can simply just face guard and deny that off-screen action and not give up any ground and be able to force turnovers. That's what Vando's elite at. So they don't need Vando to be an elite screen navigator. They have Max. They have DFS, who's a good enough screen navigator. They have Gabe. They have Austin. They don't have that damn near, look, we're going to put you on an island and we are going to say, look, go strap shit up and make life hell for this guy. They don't have that amongst these other four dudes. Again, Cam can kind of replicate some of that stuff, but he's not nearly as good of a denial candidate as Jared Vanderbilt is, objectively. So that's why I'm kind of attached to Vando still. I like these other guys, but I think Vando gets back healthy, and the combination of Vando, Max, AD, Gabe, DFS, I'm not acquiring a wing defender to go trade a wing defender. I like the lineup versatility. I like the positional depth that you have right now. I'm not trading for DFS and going, all right, bye, Vando. And I really, really hope the Lakers kind of view this in the same way, man. Like, I would actually be pretty upset if they trade Vando. I'd be upset. Unless it's a just runaway deal. It would have to just make just stupid levels amount of sense. So somebody, I just got a comment in my mentions on Twitter. Could Vando, AR, Max, Gabe, Shake, Cam be enough size slash athleticism? Defensively, yes. When I say athleticism in the backcourt, I'm primarily talking about offensively. That is primarily what I'm talking about. When I say this Lakers team desperately needs athleticism in the backcourt, I am talking about on the offensive end. Because I think defensively, that group of guys, hell yeah, that's a good enough defensive group. That's good enough athleticism. But offensively, and that's why I think you look at that Detroit game where Detroit is just bigger, more athletic, freak athletes everywhere you look. It's Asar Thompson, it's Jaden Ivey, it's Cade, who's can bump and push you around a little bit. It's Marcus. I don't even know if Sasser played that game. I was thinking off the top of my head, right? When you have these guys that can, so think about a Memphis series. Memphis fully healthy. I think the Lakers are better than Memphis in a playoff series, but they can give Austin legit troubles, I think, with their athleticism that they have. Marcus Smart, Vince Williams Jr. when he gets back, Gigi Jackson they have, Scottie Pippen Jr. They have guys that can bother the Lakers on-ball guards and essentially make that a series where it's LeBron James, save us, Anthony Davis, save us, go be top 5 players. Which I'm not saying they can't do, but we're talking about like making our lives as easy as possible as Laker fans. That's what I'm talking about when I say, look, we need some freaking athleticism in the backcourt. Even a Denver series, if we're being honest, Christian Brown, Russell Westbrook can make live trouble for some of the Lakers' on-ball offense. So defensively, I think they're fine once this team gets healthy. I think defensively, now is the time, maybe not right this second, but once this team starts to get healthy, this is the time where you start to experiment some. This is the time where you say, all right, hey, look, we got Vando back. We got Christian Wood back. We have DFS. We have Max playing really well. We have Gabe. All right, now let's switch a lot more. Now let's hedge a lot more. Now let's get more creative. That's the time to do so. So this deal for me, man, I get it. You lose D'Lo, but honestly, if this team goes and trades for like, I don't even know how you get there. Like, let's pull up Spot Track. But the name that keeps popping up in my head, bro, and let me pull up my Spot Track here. The name that keeps popping up in my head, dog. I don't even know how you get there. I don't even know if it makes any sense. The guy that I keep going back to is Colin Sexton, man. I keep going back to Colin Sexton. And maybe this is another example of if it was possible, it would have been done by now. Like Sexton's at 18.3, which is kind of tough. So to get there, you're literally looking at Gabe. I don't care that Sexton's 6'1". I really don't. You're looking at Gabe. See, like that's the problem. Gabe, Christian Wood, and Cam Reddish. I don't even think that's enough. Does that work? No, that doesn't. Yeah. Let's see really quick. Let's filter this out. Player rankings. Let's look at guards. Guards in the league. We are primarily focusing on, let's look at point guards primarily, right? I could do JHS. That's a good point. Guards in the league around the $15-ish million range where you can pretty easily get a deal done. Sheesh. None of these guys really intrigue me. I'm not doing Davion Mitchell. You're not getting Trey Mann. That's kind of rough. So hold on, 2 guards. $15 million range. You're not getting Karis LeVert. I'm cool on Jordan Clarkson. Sheesh. Yeah, no. So I don't know, man. It's tough. Because I'm thinking $15-ish million range, so you could prevent yourself from trading a Vando. What's up, Luke? It was good, bro. Good to hear from you, man. You're doing great stuff with the Raptors Nation channel. You've been a busy guy. Really, really appreciate you. Really, really appreciate you, bro. Good stuff. Happy New Year's to you, bro. And best of luck in the year 2025. I'm kind of cool on Bruce Brown. Not gonna lie. I kind of pass on that. And for the talk about DFS, not DFS. For the talk about Colin Sexton is a really good basketball player, guys. It's kind of just stuck in Utah. Back-to-back seasons. Last season, 61% true shooting percentage. This season, 60.8% true shooting percentage, which would be good for about 3 to 4% above league average. Shooting the piss out of the basketball this season. 43.9% from 3. He can get to the rim. Last season, averaged 6.4. Let me zoom in a little bit so we can really see this. 6.4 shot attempts at the rim last season, 4.7 this season. way more than I think both D'Lo and Austin. Like Austin this season, Austin Reeves this season per 75 possessions. Yeah. Oh my God, by a lot. So Colin Sexton would come in and immediately be this team's like slasher. Like he could come in, get to the rim when he wants. And then he's also has a really like fully fledged out shot profile. Can shoot the mid-range, shooting 6 mid-range attempts per game. 45% from the mid-range. Almost 6 attempts from 3 per 75, 43.9%. Last season per 75 possessions scored 25 points per 75 possessions. 21.9 this season. He's not the playmaker, but I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to say I don't care, but I think he's serviceable enough. I think he's okay enough considering they're going to play through AD. They're going to play through Bron. They're going to play through Austin to the point where I don't care that he's not this spectacular playmaker. No thanks on Jordan Clarkson. I am all the way cool on Jordan Clarkson. No effing thanks. We are all the way up to nearly 700 live viewers, guys. Let's get another like spike. Be a friend, tell a friend. Let's get 1,000. Let's get 1,000 live viewers in here, guys. Let's go. Let's effing go. You guys have been awesome. Before I forget, how do I feel about Jakob Poeltl versus Vucevic? If I had to pick, I would go Jakob Poeltl. I would go Jakob Poeltl, personally. I would argue Vucevic is probably easier to get because if I'm Toronto and if Luke is still in here, you can correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm Toronto, I think trading for Jakob Poeltl, I'm probably asking for a first, where like an unprotected first, damn near. I don't know if Chicago asks that for Boost. I don't know if they asked for that. So I think Jakob Poeltl is the better player, probably. I think Nikola Vucevic is probably the easier to get. So somebody asked me about drop. I wish I had my like whiteboard with my clipboard with me. So drop coverage. Let me pull up my digital board instead here. Pull up my digital board. Give me 1 sec, guys. Trying to pull this up for you. While I'm waiting on this, hit that like button for me. Much appreciated. And it's Dan the Fan. You guys are funny, chat. And since this live stream, you guys have been awesome. We've grown already over 100 new subscribers here on the channel. So much appreciated. So let's see here. Sleepy Face Sean, I got canned. Quite, that's completely inaccurate, but okay. You get a life, kid. All right, drop coverage. All right, so let me share my screen. I get canned from here, kid. All right, drop coverage. Okay, so we're just gonna run this from a 5-out standpoint. Okay, so let's go. We don't have to go empty side. We'll kind of run it like this. All right. So we got our 2 opposite, and then let's add 5 defenders here. So we got X1 right here. Let's actually let me change it. Let's go MC. That's Max Christie. This is X5. This is AD. X4. We'll say this is, I don't know, Braun, maybe. LJ. What about the switches during drop? So drop, it only turns into a switch if you have a bad screen navigator. It only turns into a switch if you have a bad screen navigator. which the Lakers have had up until they play Max. And let's go. Let's say this is Rui. Okay. So the ball's on the right wing. Let's kind of readjust just a little bit. So LeBron would probably be a little bit more over there. Ball side corner. All right. So this is probably how a defense will look. All right. So this is Rui. We're showing ourselves in the gap, but we're not fully committing to where like you could just snap that ball over and it's a wide open three. Right? Bron's over in the gap. He's playing the rim. He's what you would call a goalie. So, all right. Come over and screen. This guy's going to come off. He's going to dribble off and try to attack downhill. Okay. So, once this happens, and let's, cool. So, all drop is essentially supposed to be, it's AD right here, and this guy probably tightens up a little bit since the ball's going to that side. AD is just at a drop, and essentially what we're doing is the goal of drop coverage for the most part, like in an ideal world, is we are trying to eliminate shots right here. We are trying to essentially take away as much as possible shots at the rim in favor for, so this is the red area. This is the red area, right? We do not want shots right here when we're playing drop. In an ideal world, that's essentially the goal of drop, right? We want you to shoot shots right here. And this is why having a good screen navigator is important, okay? We want you to take shots in this area, okay? So let's make that green because that's the good area, right? The goal of drop coverage not only is it, and I'm just going back to answer a question from earlier, right? And then we'll get back to some of the trade talk. This is why having a good screen navigator is so important because the goal of drop, we want this to be as 2-on-2 as possible, like 2-on-2. So AD max guarding 1-5. We want this to be as 2-on-2 as possible so that we don't have to give up corner threes. Okay, so we don't want this. We don't want this. As a matter of fact, as one is coming off, we'll probably like have Bron cheat back over and have Rui maybe play a little bit further over in the gap. Okay. This shot right here for the defense is a win. Okay. Depending on the shooter, depending on who the ball handler is, this you can extend it a little bit, right? And this is where you would see probably a deeper drop, right? If it's Steph, then this is going to be a higher drop, like an up to touch drop even, right? So all drop is essentially the goal of it. We are trying to eliminate paint touches as much as possible. We're trying to make this a 2-on-2 action. We're trying to force you to shoot shots in the green zone. So preferably tough, contested, long twos without giving up kick out threes and protecting the rim. You get down here, even though it's AD, you get down here, this is the red area. We don't want that. We want you to shoot shots in the green area. That's essentially drop coverage and why it's so essential to have a good screen navigator, which the Lakers now have multiple screen navigators. They have Austin. They have Max. They have DFS. They have multiple guys that can do that. All right, guys. What else do you guys want to talk about here? Fire off. Let's get some more likes here in the chat. Fire off the likes. See, I don't think you can get this anywhere else. Trying to build the best Lakers platform possible. In order to do that, we got to get as many people in here. Let's get another like spike. Get a like spike, chat. Refresh my Twitter here. Let's see. Let's see. Bro, please, if you can get Colin Sexton, good Lord. Who do I predict the Lakers trade for next? Look at the market, kind of how we just did. Unless you're getting Sexton, I'm not going to lie. I think they're going to go big which I'm not even mad at, but I think that's the most likely pathway because I don't think there's a lot of bigs, especially if we're going off what I would prioritize here. I don't think there's a lot of guards that make sense under like around the $15 million range, which is super, super unfortunate because, like I said, man, I really, really, really want the Lakers to go get a guard that can add some athleticism to the backcourt. Would I trade Trey Mann? Would I do Trey Mann and Nick Richards for Gabe Hayes in a first? Yeah. Am I tripping? I probably do that. For one first, I get a really good backup guard and I get like our backup big. I'm doing that. Personally. Although Shake Milton and maybe the Lakers already have their guard, their guy. Maybe the Lakers view Shake Milton as that dude. Maybe they view Shake Milton as that dude. And if he is that dude, then hell yeah, that takes one more problem off your plate. But I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie, man. I really just think that I think we're going to see them play more through AD. I think we see them play more through AD. Like in terms of the post initiation stuff. I don't want them to trade Vando. I keep saying stuff about that. I don't want them to trade Vando. Oh man, Cam Thomas. I don't think you're getting Cam Thomas. I don't think you get Cam Thomas. And I think if Cam Thomas was really available, I think Cam Thomas would be going for a lot more than what the Lakers probably want to give up. Fox. A De'Aaron Fox trade right now. You're gonna have to give up Austin. Like at the end of the day, you're gonna have to give up Austin. I don't think this team gives up Austin Reeves. Yeah, no, I don't think that happens. We're gonna close the poll. 445 votes. Nick Richards for 2 seconds, or Walker Kessler for 1 first. You guys vote 73%. Walker Kessler for 1 first round pick. Again, I probably agree with you guys, but like I already said, if that was the real price for Walker Kessler, I think everybody, not only the Lakers, but I think a lot of teams hop on that. I think a lot of teams in the league hop on that. Yeah. This is a great time to promote it, I think, actually. Guys, look, we are, oh my God, the Colts are going to sell my money. Are you kidding me? Lose it to the freaking Giants. We're doing more and more playback streams. Sorry, I had very, very random comment on my part. We're gonna be doing more live streams to start the new year for not only just like stuff like this, but for Lakers content. So it won't be New Year's Eve. We're not gonna do that game. But I'm thinking we maybe do like the Houston game, January. I don't know. I'm gonna have to sit through this, but I'm thinking we're gonna do one playback stream a week here on the channel. Start to kick off the new year. One playback stream here a week. So I'm also gonna promote that in the community tabs a little bit more as well. So just so you guys know, make sure you guys hit that post notification bell as well, so you guys don't miss any new content. I'm not gonna lie. I do feel good about this team. How do I feel about the Chargers? Bolt up. That's how I feel about the daggone LA Chargers. Also, go check out the Sports Headline Show. Going to be doing some more content on there as well once the new year kicks off. I gotta lock back in. So much appreciate you guys' support. Let's see what we got here. Make sure there's nothing else. So I can get to work here. Let's see. My timeline is going nuts right now. Better than OKC? No, I don't think they're on OKC's level yet. I think they're. I don't know if there's a trade that will put them on OKC's level. I think there's a trade that can make that series a lot more favorable for them, though. And I think OKC. I think the Lakers could give OKC some troubles, though. I think the combination of their size. I think the combination of their. This is another freaking reason why I'm not trading Vando, bro. I'm not trading Vando. OKC's overrated. I completely disagree. They have like a historic defense without having their best defensive player. Like, why are we not talking about that more? They have a legit all-time defense, and their best defensive player has not played in like a month. Duso stuck on Vando. Last time we saw him play was when I completely understand that. And I understand the frustration about Vando. I really do. I do understand all frustration about Vando. But they need OKC's is seasonal magic. I just completely disagree. Only thing that can stop OKC is injuries or lack of experience. And I'm not going to lie, the only teams that the experience factor, oh my goodness, experience, which I think experience is kind of getting like, we want to talk about overrated. I think experience is being really overrated here. The only teams the experience factor would matter against that much would be Denver or the Lakers. Because Denver has the championship experience and LA has championship experience with the two best players. Everybody else in the West, I don't think the experience thing matters as much as people are hyping it up to be. Did they forget how good Vando was when he first arrived? Did they forget how good Vando was like last year before he got hurt again? Like when Vando was fully 100% for like 12 games, like Mavs, okay, cool. Kyrie won a title. And okay, cool. Dallas beat them last year. But I think OKC has significantly improved since last season. Did I just say historic defense? Yes, I did. How about you go look it up and watch a damn game? Watch some basketball. How about we do that? Before we start talking out of our asses. How about we go actually look it up? Comparatively speaking, they have a historic defense. The league average defensive rating, I think it's like 113. Last time I checked, OKC is like 105, which again, compared to where the rest of the league at, they're 8 points better than the rest of the league, which is a historic defense. So again, dipshit, watch a damn basketball game or do your own research. Okay? Awesome. How about Murray from the Pels? Nah. I'm cool on DeJounte. No thanks. I'm offended by your language, sir. I'm sorry I didn't use the curse on the other platform. I'm sorry if I offended any of you. But the days of people like talking crap in the comments and not getting a response is like far from over. I mean, it is definitely over. It's not the other one where I'm going to pretend I don't see it. No. Okay. What do I think? What do I think about Gabe, JHS, Hayes in a first and a second for Vucevic? No, thanks. That's a lot, in my opinion. I'm sorry, but Vando's borderline useless on offense. Yes, but I don't need to look it up. He doesn't have historic defense with Vando. Okay? I think Buddy right here needs a hearing aid. When I said historic defense, I was pretty easily and pretty clearly talking about the Thunder. Pretty clearly talking about the Thunder. The historic defense will stop Denver from sweeping them. Pretty clearly was talking about Thunder. About OKC, you idiot. So get your head out of your behind and hear. You can there's actually a thing called rewinding and going back like 15 seconds. You could pretty clearly understand me talking about the Thunder. Jesus Christ. Anyway, going back to the Vando discussion, I think JJ is capable enough to utilize Vando offensively in other ways that neutralize some of his weaknesses, like using him as a screener, which is something I begged the Lakers to use Vando as a screener more and more. And there were only a few occasions where the Lakers did that, and when they did that, it worked. Not a good look, bro. Stay professional. Trevor is great for a reason. If being professional is letting people crap on you in the comments and pretending like you don't see it and letting it continue, if that's being professional, then I apologize. Oh well. Now the guy is still going, so I'm going to now continue to ignore it. Now I will. But yeah, like, come on. Vando's a good enough secondary, like short roll passer. Like utilizing Vando as a screener is something I would really it's something I really want to see them do. Is there a way you can like heart a message? Keeps it real. Hey, one of the things I said when I started the channel was like, we're going to always be authentic. You're always going to know what I think about something. And is what it is. Which center should we pick up? I think Nick Richards is probably the most likely, or like a guy that's pretty easy to maintain. Tina, what's up? Good to see you too. Appreciate you tuning in. I think Nick Richards is a guy that could pretty easily maintain. They could get the contract is pretty easy to get there. You have draft comp. I think it really just comes down to, are the Lakers really interested in attaining Nick Richards? Chances of landing Miles Turner are DeJounte Murray, slim to none for both. I don't want DeJounte Murray. The thing that you have going your way about a very, very hypothetical Miles Turner trade is I'm pretty sure he's an expiring contract. I'm pretty I'm pretty positive that Miles Turner is an expiring contract. He's an expiring contract. The contract is actually getting paid a lot less than I thought he was, which is another positive. So like you could pretty easily get to that. It's a $19 million deal. Like, that's a guy I would probably consider trading Vando for. To get the contract there, to get the salaries to match. But I still think it's a pretty like big shot in the dark, personally. Excuse me. I don't really see them trading for Miles Turner. Dwight Howard. There we go. We got our mandatory Dwight Howard comment in the chat. Which is awesome. Lakers have 1 second round pick, right? I'm pretty sure the Lakers have 2 second round picks left. They traded 3 to get DFS. They traded 3 to get DFS. So if we look at their second round pick situation now, just gonna briefly see what Spot Track has. They have. Hold on, let me see. Trade line mode. The Lakers have 2 tradable second round picks right now because their 2027 second. Okay, so yeah, they have 2 tradable seconds. They do have a additional second, but it's not like they can't per Spot Track. It doesn't look like they could trade it currently because it's it has some convey like obligations. Like if the Lakers 2027 pick doesn't if it doesn't convey, meaning that the Lakers have a top 4 pick that year, then the 2027 pick goes to Utah. And then if it does convey, then it's the Lakers pick. It's the Lakers pick. So they have to answer the question. The Lakers have 2 tradable second round picks. They have 2 tradable second round picks, and they have 2 first round picks, I think. They have 2 unprotected picks that they could trade, and they have 2 pick swaps. If what I'm looking at is accurate. Let's see. Steven Adams a possible target. I don't know. I'm not sure. I wouldn't mind Steven Adams necessarily. What's Steven Adams making? I think it's like 12 million. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. 12 million. I don't know if I like really. I mean, I'm not mad at it, but another injury prone guy. I don't know. Which point of attack athletic guard do you think we can get? I think defensively they're fine. When I talk about athletic guard, I'm mainly talking about offensively. But Sexton is like the number 1 guy on my board when I'm talking like athleticism in the backcourt. That's the number 1 guy. That's the number 1 guy I look at. Markelle Fultz is a free agent, so you could go get Markelle Fultz. Gabe Vincent for Steven Adams. I don't feel good about it. Does Sexton fit the locker room, though? Is there something about Sexton I'm missing? Like, is Sexton like this locker room cancer that I just didn't know about? Thank you, Chef, for keeping it real. Yeah, of course. Much appreciate you guys as well. Much appreciate you guys. Nick Richards for 2 seconds and JHS and Hayes. Hell yeah. Sign me up. Like right now. Jeez. Whooping him. Sexton trash. He's too little. I implore you to go watch Colin Sexton play. And I can guarantee you Colin Sexton is not bad at basketball. We need another center. Sure. I think you need another center. I think you need athleticism in the backcourt. I think you address one of those needs. Check ball. All righty. Do I not like Offset the 1? It's not that I don't like Offset the 1 necessarily. I don't know if that's like the long-term vision. But what I'm saying is I think you can pressure Austin a little bit. And the problem with that is you don't have another release unless you're just saying, Bron, here's the ball 100 times a game. Getting more athletic in the backcourt just eases things up for this team a little bit. And you have another option. That's essentially all I'm asking. Sexton will probably come off the bench, be the 6th man. Like, that's kind of what I'm saying there. It's not easy to play next to is that easy to play in LA or next to Bron? I'm not gonna lie. I think the whole play next to Braun thing is really overstated. You do need a third. This is essentially my point, not that one. Well, I mean this one too. Like I still can't believe Austin played 40+ minutes. We do need a third ball handling shot creator. That's all I'm saying. I do think they can play through AD more again, but this is essentially all I'm saying. I do think that just having a third guy that can have a semblance of shot creation that isn't overly dependent on Austin, AD, or Braun creating for them, I think there's value to that. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. We've been live for over an hour and a half. Guys, you guys are incredible. Gabe's not a shot creator at this point in his career. He needs to be created for it. Exactly my point. Exactly my point. Let's see if Shake and Gabe off the bench can run the second unit. Yeah, we'll see. It's not a LeBron thing. It's a usage thing. Guys have lower usage rate with LeBron, which is fine. Normal. Everyone has lower usage rate when they go to a team of those stars. Alrighty, guys. I think we're going to kind of wrap up there. Got to get some work done. I will dive into some love your new channel. Appreciate it. I will dive into some Dorian Finney-Smith film. And with the hopes of doing a DFS film breakdown before the Cavs game. Got a lot of other stuff I have to do as well. But that's my plan. I will have another video tomorrow. One more like for 460. Yes, sir. One more like, guys. Let's get one last like spike before we head out here. I will have another video out. I was going to plan on doing a video on Austin tomorrow. Actually, I was going to do a video on Austin today. Then this happened. So the Austin video is going to get pushed back till tomorrow. And then the hope is we do a DFS film breakdown Tuesday. So the hope is, guys, so you guys can kind of understand my thought process here. The hope is to get 4 to 5 uploads a week with the film with not that with 4 to 5 uploads a week with a live stream sprinkled in there. That's kind of the hope. Especially heading into 2025. Much appreciate all you guys' support. Please, please, please do me a big favor. Takes 2 seconds. Hammer home that like button. Hammer home that subscribe button. Follow me on X/Twitter at Sean_DAVI. Go check out the Sports Headline Show YouTube channel, the Hoop Venue podcast for more NBA content as a whole. I really, really appreciate it. What does Sean say about Shake? I honestly need to dive in more into Shake Milton's film. I like the pickup. I think it's an underrated pickup. He's a good 3-point shooter. And I'm honestly going to leave it at that for right now. I do need to get to watch some more Shake Milton film. So maybe my video tomorrow will just be a state of the Lakers backcourt video, if that makes sense. Especially with me being such a big proponent of adding more depth to adding more athleticism to the backcourt. I think that might be tomorrow's video. If I can get to some Shake film tonight/tomorrow morning, I think that might be what we do. I think that might be what we do. Ice Cold Ace, appreciate it, bro. That would be sweet if there's a video for your ideal trade targets before the Lakers make another move. That would be sweet. Yep, that'll definitely be there for sure. Best part of the trade, no first, D'Lo gone. I think the best part of the trade is they add more playoff caliber players without trading first round picks. And they do that while shedding some salary too, which is also important. I think their tax bill dropped by $12 million. I think it was in the $53 million range. And I think it's now $42 million tax bill, I think. Do I think DFS suits up against Cleveland? I think he plays against Cleveland, yeah. Does DFS start? No, I do not think DFS starts. Talk about that a lot. I don't think DFS starts. Maybe in the playoff series, based on the matchup, he could start, but I really, really don't think DFS is a starter for this team. I honest to God, believe that. They say 15 million. All right, guys. You guys are awesome. Best stream on the channel by far. Love you guys. Much appreciated. Love the trolls too. And I will catch you guys later. As always, folks, go Lake Show. Peace out.